When I see that you are both straight and ready, I will start you like this. Attention, go. Get ready, please.
That iconic call over from the umpires as we're about to be underway with the first race of the day.
Attention, go.
And here in the Jubilee, it is Oregon rowing unlimited from the USA up against the Tideway Scullers School from Great Britain.
That punch and power from the Americans, so distinctive in their style. All crews from the USA come here and they try and get out hard. They're used to match racing with all of their sort of seasonal circuitry, and they're coming here, the Americans, with one thing in mind: they want to take home the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup.
So aggressive, that style of the American crew there. But both of these crews locked dead together. Perhaps the Tideway Scullers just eking out to a seat lead here in this very early stage.
This doesn't shock me too much. I watched Oregon up against St. Edwards yesterday, and Oregon was actually quite slow in the first half of the course. We obviously saw that punchy start, but then they settle into their race rhythm, and they actually rode back through St. Edwards yesterday in the second half. So don't be too surprised to see Tideway Scullers jump out to a bit of an advantage early doors, but Oregon will be not fazed by that.
This is what we're seeing happen right now, Tom. We can see Oregon seem to be on quite a long, strong, sustainable rhythm. Tideway Scullers School still up quite a high rate, still moving quite quickly through the back end of the stroke. Will they be able to carry that on down the course? They're certainly going to have to start to transition into something that is sustainable here and really finish off that stroke.
Well, exactly. And Tideway Scullers School, you know, driven on by that formidable stern pairing of Alice McCarthy and Orla Harvey, both of whom are off to the United States of America next year to study for Princeton and Harvard respectively. So they are two really accomplished athletes, very used to this format of racing. And as I say, this is a Tideway Scullers School crew that's coming into this event getting faster. Momentum is such an important thing in sport, and this Tideway Scullers School crew are only getting faster with every race that they take. So at the moment, just looking to try and break clear of Oregon. And I think Oregon just need to be careful the Tideway Scullers don't get away from them.
Great shot there in the boat of the Oregon Rowing Unlimited USA crew. Lauren Garrett there in the stroke seat, just metronomic with her rhythm. Really aggressive style.
They weren't a program I was too familiar with, Oregon, but you can see that Tideway Scullers School in shot. Just that grimace etched on the face of Alice McCarthy, 18 years of age, driving her crew on here at Henley Royal Regatta, the pinnacle of schoolgirl sculling, perhaps even globally, such as the depth of the field this year. That's a wonderful shot, isn't it? You get the full span of the boat, and you can see they're coming back with Temple Island in the background. It's definitely Tideway Scullers School with an impetus at the moment.
Just a little steering here, a little correction from Oregon here with their steering. They'll just have to make sure that they're not coming too far over to the booms. Of course, we've seen some pretty exciting steering and results because of that. Crews being disqualified, so crews do need to stay on their station. It is their responsibility.
It's worth noting, actually, you make a good point, sir. We have seen some curious interpretations of a straight line this week, but I do think that these two crews have steered so far exceptionally well. And Tideway Scullers School straight as an arrow all the way down the course so far, and you're right, Oregon just had to correct there. That won't help. Every jilt on that rudder just slows the boat down marginally, and in a race that's going to be as tight as this, margins will count in the latter stages.
Yeah, exactly. Every steering correction does wipe speed off, but it also unsettles the crew as well. It tends to throw the balance off a little bit, which can then sort of impact the rhythm down the boat. But they look like they're back onto it now. We saw a little look around there from Zola Young in the 3 seat. They're coming down towards the last section of this race. So if Oregon are going to make a challenge, it has to be now.
That's absolutely right. I think they're not too far off the enclosures, which sort of signals the last 500 or so meters of this course. And Tideway Scullers School here, just attritionally looking like they're going to break away. They've got clear water now on the crew from Oregon, and this is absolutely Tideway Scullers School race to lose as they come past the Forley.
Tideway Scullers School really have settled into a lovely rhythm here, really intentional around the back end there.
Well, the narrative that unfolds in this Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup is fairly clear. On one side of the draw, you've got the national schools winners and probably undisputed fastest UK quad in this country, Wycliffe. And on the other side of the draw, it's these two crews plus another two, Tideway Scullers and Oregon. And I think this is probably the semi-final, I would say, a day early, which I know is a brave thing to say. But I think Wycliffe will be watching this race with a lot of interest because Tideway Scullers School are the crew that have pushed them hardest this year domestically. I think everybody expected Oregon to come over and be very, very quick, having won the US Nationals. And now we're going to have to see if Oregon have got the gas that they had yesterday. They managed to row down Teddy's coming into the enclosures. We're not too far off from that point now. If Oregon want to make a move, they need to do it now because it has to be decisive.
Oh, and Oregon getting very close to the boom there. We saw a bit of a look around from the bowwoman, Callista Wilden. But that's not what you want at this stage of the race when it is the time to make a move. If you're contending with the barriers, that becomes a bit of a distraction, and it has given the opportunity now for the Tideway Scullers School to really, really put the boot in.
We've talked about that Oregon rhythm, and you can see it there on screen. They're just punching it along, but they don't look as fluid as the Tideway Scullers School. There doesn't seem to be that dynamism around each end of the stroke. They're just sort of forcing it a little bit too much, and Scullers look smoother, they look more relaxed. And in these closing stages where naturally you get tighter, naturally you get more tense because the roar of the crowd, you know, the stroke rate goes up. You just need to remain as loose as you can, and Tideway Scullers doing that so well here. We got a little look round from Balgo, Alice Metcalf. She will know, and of course she'll, I assume, will be the communicator within the crew. She'll know that there's not that much further to go for this quad, and this would be an amazing, amazing result for Rona McCallum's girls.
As we see Oregon now starting to take the raid up, they're sprinting down to the line, but have they left it too late? Tideway Scullers School looking so strong as they're coming down past the end of the Stewart's enclosure.
Yeah, running out of water here, Oregon. I think they've left their charge too late. They have closed the gap slightly, but Tideway Scullers still with clear water, securing their semi-final berth in the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup.
Oregon step again. They're desperately trying to close that gap, but they won't get there. It will be the Tideway Scullers School over Oregon Rowing Unlimited USA in the Diamond Jubilee Challenge Cup. Confirmation of that result, Tideway Scullers School beating Oregon Rowing Unlimited.